life cycle assessment that Booz Allen has been doing for us. So stand by for that. This is a requirement by NDAA. It's a requirement by the MLDC. And also, in fact, by the Secretary, past Secretary of Defense said we need to be doing this. So I'm hopeful that the services can take the briefing that we prepare and peel off of it and go using your senior counsels to kind of talk to how the department is. You see what all the services are doing. So looking forward to getting you on the drawing board. Thank you, Rock. Okay, let's see. Randy, anything for the group?
Brief things. Like other reports, the Defense Annual Narrative Employment Statistics Report, we've informally shared that with the DPMs. It includes your targeted disability data and an overall report on our progress, as well as some promising practices that we shared. We provided a data call request of components on reasonable accommodations that includes EEOC's guidance on personal assistance services that went into effect in January. The workforce recruitment program, recruit. We're recruiting now, so please encourage your components, your leaders, to bring on board WRP participants. It's an excellent program, and it helps you meet your affirmative responsibilities. The fourth thing is April 6th, Mr. Johnson led a group of senior executives on equal access to information technology, trying to address organizational and programmatic barriers around access to information technology. So that's it, sir.
Thank you, sir. Okay. And Mr. Gwendon, anything with the group?
Yes, I want to shout out to the Marine Corps that got their policy out. Was signed on the 26th of March. Their problematic behaviors, it's called the Prohibited Activities and Conduct Prevention and Response Policy, which addresses all of the problematic behaviors. We shared that with all the military equal opportunity practitioners throughout the DoD. And this is very important because, number one, it helps us to collaborate on all of the activities that we're working on, and also trying to address all of the military equal opportunity problematic behaviors and how the services are training and assessing the workload. The second part of it is that we have our informal dashboard of compliance when it comes to policies, NDAA and GAO. So that's a great effort from the Marine Corps in having to get that done in complying to our policies. The second thing that I wanted to talk about is great effort from the folks at DIOMI. Another shout out to DIOMI, Colonel Martin and Dr. McDonald and the research team having to come up with the CDC principles and implementing that into the DIOMI education and also curriculum, education and training curriculum, as well as the research activities. So we met with the services last week. We are now providing input to DIOMI so that we can develop this implementation plan and also the training curriculum by the end of the year. We plan to execute by the 1st of October 2018. So continue to provide that input. We are always looking to see how we can improve. We already came up with the competencies for the EOA as well as the knowledge, skills, and abilities. We want to set up the EOAs for success as they develop these new prevention strategies and how we're going to implement. And then the third thing is, in addition to what Mr. Johnson said about the harassment policy implementation plan, we also have the retaliation prevention and response strategy implementation plan that's due by the 24th of July. We hope to get that from you by the end of June so that we can meet that 24th July meeting deadline to Mr. Wilkie. So that's all I have, sir.
Thank you, Shirley. Any questions of Mr. McClendon? Yeah.
For Shirley and CJ, this is Cyrus. So something related to the survey is I often hear that we have a barrier is that the biggest difference in the service cultures is how we're postured with equal opportunity, our DNI, and our SAPR community. So perhaps I could have a discussion with
a barrier,
how we approach the handoffs with sexual harassment, sexual assault, the way that we are structured. And maybe I could have a discussion with you two later about how the Navy approaches it, the Army approaches it.
Yeah.
Because in Air Force, we have a different methodology.
I know.
it's-
Yep. You know what? Yeah, I remember, in fact, the Air Force methodology. I happened to be part of the team that went down to the EEOC, gosh, in 2006 or 7. Joe McCabe then was kind of in the senior leadership of Air Force HR, and we talked to the EEOC about because their concern was who was in fact the EEO practitioner on the ground, and the Air Force was looking at merging, which is what you now. So Air Force does it different for some equal opportunity in military and civilian. Air Force has a diversity office separate than the other services. Army services do things different.
Right.
So please come and sit and chat with us, so we can, you also might make some office calls with your counterparts here to see kind of how they do things, because we can learn from each other. This is not no secrets.
Yeah, turn after the meeting, too, if you want to go.
Okay, but anything else for Shirley? Okay, Ms. Johnson, you on the line?
Yes, sir, I'm on the line. The first thing I'd like to talk about, go back to the EEO staff assistance visits, and we've reshaped some of the responsibilities for the EEO portfolio. So Mr. Cooper and myself are working more towards the policy and compliance aspects of the EEO program. What I'd like to mention, or just to remind the components, is please use us as a resource. We understand that individuals are trying to ensure that they respond to the EEOC, but what we don't want to happen is to create a bigger problem as you attempt to resolve the issues and moving towards compliance. So please, before you make any decisions to move program resources or anything, please reach out to myself and allow us to have those discussions to make sure that we are moving in the right direction. As far as the hazing report, as a reminder, we have included the hazing as the behavior in the harassment notice. However, with the legislation, we're still required to submit a report to Congress annually. So we have some additional requirements moving forward. Once we get the report finalized, the plan is to reconvene the working group so we can work on updating the data elements, and Ms. Karen Nelson from the CTC team, they worked diligently to get those data elements standardized, and we'll continue to have more discussions. For the EEO policy piece, we do have some work that needs to be done. Right now, we do have but there's some additional emerging issues that have arisen since that time, and for instance, we want to look a little closer at agreements. We have some discussions. I had a meeting with the team in Afghanistan regarding EEO implementation in a COCOM environment, so we'll be putting together policies to make sure that the folks on the ground are able to operate with clear expectations, and of course with joint basing. And as part of the, going back to the staff assistance visit, a lot of the components are cited for non-compliance with the anti-harassment program. That is separate of any EEO program, so we'll have more discussions on that as well. And then, as Mr. Dillard mentioned, Booz Allen completed their life cycle for the military. We'll be ramping up the D&I assessment for civilians. We're finding that a lot of the civilian EEO organizations have taken on D&I responsibilities, but we want to make sure that we are equipping our EEO practitioners with the right information to know how to do the assessment. So we're moving from the as-is towards a 2D structure, and we're excited about that. And the last piece, I want to thank everyone for participating in the Federal Executive Webcast Series. That was a very successful effort, and we hope to bring more of that activity to you. Thanks, sir. That's all I have.
Thank you, Charmaine. Any questions for Charmaine? For those of you that don't know, Ms. Charmaine Johnson has been selected to join the Civilian Expeditionary Workforce. She's going to be, if she passes the Are You Afraid to Duck contest, she'll be heading to Afghanistan in October time frame, so we'll miss her for the year she's gone, but she's been selected to do that. So I also want to present to you, I'm going to put them on the spot. They get excellent performance, but folks in our office contractors are also leading key issues. I'm going to ask Sonia Black to kind of talk to what she's working, particularly harassment, Dodie, and next steps with that. Sonia?